Welcome one and all to a Bike Racing Without Mercy special, featuring a mesmerising descent from the gods of carbon, lycra and hairpins, and then a confrontation with La Femme Fatale of Tenerife, the alluring assassin of cyclists known as La Tierra del Trigo, offering unparalleled beauty but unrelenting steep. Lee, La Tierra del Trigo awaits us, or maybe awaits to confront us. Tell me about your level of concern.
Obviously high. Yeah, the game face is on. Confidence.
Confidence is how?
Lowish.
Lowish, yeah. Anyway, onwards. I was on a training camp to prepare for the Fred Whitton with the virtuosos of the Lake District, Lee Baxter and Paul Livesey, plus the understated and outstanding Paul Hamblett. Refuelling in Santiago del Teide, but we could do with some of the horsepower over there. Look at that. Pristine Escort Cosworth. I mean, look at it. That thing is a beast. We're going to need beast mode to get at the wall. I'm editing another fast-paced video for the rest of the training camp, but I felt that this day was so beautiful that it merited a breakout. From where we were staying, it was about 60 kilometres and 1,400 metres of ascending and descending in order to get to the start of La Tierra del Trigo. But as you crest the climb coming out of Santiago del Teide, you're in for an incredible flowing 17-kilometre descent called Erjos-Las Cruces. Beautiful descent, which for the final 6 kilometres is nothing short of perfect. Flawless, gleaming and goat contend are all spring to mind. Time I felt for a little bit of cyclotourism without mercy. Pretty as a picture, isn't it? I mean, look at this. It would have certainly been rude not to indulge in a second piece of cyclotourism to capture a lovely panoramic memento of Paul Livesey and Lee Baxter from the Lake District, feeling at home on the rough road, which is probably what would stop this descent from attaining GOAT status. Beautiful descent, incredible views, one to indulge in, and a little bit of cyclotourism without mercy. But now, a hard, I guess 20 minutes of wait. Very hard. That descent is from the gods, isn't it, today? I mean, it wasn't too cold either.
I did top it a bit, but it got quite warm quite quick.
Yes. Gents, I think it is fair to say that from where we dropped the bottles off, it was quite a lot further down than, well, maybe I'd anticipate. What about you guys? Is that a yes? That is a yes? Yeah. There was a terrifying amount of extra descending to get down here, in all honesty. Anyway, onwards to a very, very nasty 20 minutes, I reckon. 20 minutes?
What goes down?
What goes down must come up, well, so we're told. Now, I've watched Hilly Gardner take this on. I know to take it easy in the first little bit, because the rest of it is relentless. That's the initial part of the segment. I'm in the easiest gear. Forgot to start the lap. It's 2.7, so we've got 2.6 to go. Feels nice and easy on the 1011. The power will be on the screen, about 230 watts. Just trying to get a rhythm. I want to stay in the saddle as much as possible. Just let the cadence drop. Paul Hamblett comes past shortly in order to pace me and also provide the sensational rear view camera angles for the relentless business part of this climb.
The tarmac is nice, which makes a difference. It says 17% gradient, 18. 20.
We knew that the main part of this climb featured sustained gradients north of 20%, so folks simply have to go at their own pace. Therefore, the plan was for me to set off first and then for Paul, Lee and Paul,
Staying seated, 55 RPM.
to come past during the alluring steep sections to make the filming that much richer. The first kilometre is consistently steep, averaging 13%, but no drama. Embrace the grind. It's the middle 1.2 kilometres, averaging 16%, where you're going to see the ramps rear up and la femme fatale intimidates, demanding big VO2 max power and offering sparse respite.
Riding myself into the climb. As Paul would say, tickling the power right now. Doing a bare minimum, 255 watt average.
With the steepest gradient still to come, controlled average power conserves sufficient energy to deploy repeated VO2 max surges when demanded by Madame Beast.
It doesn't let up on the hairpins. Embrace the low cadence.
You simply got to embrace it, because steep climbs require acceptance of the seated grind combined without the saddle turbo and then oh so sweet moments of 75 RPM.
The smooth tarmac makes a big difference versus the lakes. On the front of the saddle.
For maximum torque.
They're coming, the boys, I can hear them. So bad, is it? It's alright, so far. Here he is, the man they call Piglet.
Some steep climbs are discreet, personal invitation only, a geological salon privé secreted away in amongst the trees. Just you, your smallest gear and a rapidly ascending heart rate. Collid and Mortirolo both come to mind. Others, as you now see for La Tierra del Trigo, stand proudly in the open, providing a concierge VIP welcome and access to premium views.
It's the tarmac makes a difference, doesn't it? So smooth. There's no wheel spin, no nothing. 1.1 kilometres done. 2.6 to go. Sorry, 1.6 to go. Simple arithmetic is becoming a challenge.
Speaking of challenge, life now gets materially harder, evidenced by the map on screen that I've left up to show the tightly packed hairpins on which there is no let up.
Ooh, turn too sharp there.
No let up in the vistas either, they get better and better and better.
Our Father, who in heart hit, who art in heaven, bless us this climb.
Here, keeping the power simmering just the right side of the red. That's about 260 to 270 for me. The veritable Iron Chancellor of watts, bolstering the coffers for the key moments on the climb where austerity must be set aside and it's time to tax the body and spend, spend, spend.
Near Bramble, I don't think this is as hard so far as a college in North Snowdonia, North Wales, sorry.
To get to La Femme Fatale, we had about 60 kilometres and 1,400 metres of ascending and descending under the belt. So this was a good semi-fatigued effort to help prepare for the Fred Whitton in about 10 days' time from when we filmed this.
Telling myself I've done fatigued efforts on the trainer. Here's one such. I've got this.
time now to release the purse strings and invest a little bit of power to close the gap to Paul, in order for the rear camera video to be as I'd intended, all in the name of creativity, noting that art and pain are intricately linked, with pain often serving as a potent source of inspiration for artistic expression, none more so than filming and directing a YouTube video from your bike.
Oh dear, that was a bitch.
With austerity now dead, time now to cash a big, beautiful check that hopefully won't bounce, and I'll let the data and the breathing do the talking for a bit, whilst you see Paul Livesey glide right by on his beautiful Canago. As you can see, holding back some energy earlier paid off on this tough section of the climb, so I committed because I felt in control of the mandate. Well, for a while anyway.
Oh Christ.
Paul Livesey presenting now what the fitness for a 6-hour Fred Whitton actually looks like.
Nice and Paul.
Sobering, isn't it? Piglet with the talent to flex and able to secure the side view snapshot, giving me the opportunity to catch back up.
Oh. Gracias. Oh.
Friends, I'm sure you could discern, and I can faithfully report that that was proper emotional. And also justified my role as the one and only Iron Chancellor of Power for the first half of the climb. But this is most certainly not the end of the challenging section. Here we go again. Getting just a little bit disorientated as to exactly where the steepest segments ended, and had I known that almost, well, nearly almost, the worst of it was about over, I'd have pressed on a little bit more from around about here towards the end of the climb. As always on terrain such as this, you become adept at scanning the intermediate horizon for any partial brow of micro respite.
Another perpendicular ramp awaits. Maximum recovery.
In all honesty, compared to what we'd just done, it wasn't too bad from here on in. My spidey sense discerned that we were near the end of the segment. Okay, the Wahoo may have had a small hand in that too. No matter the climb, or indeed your form ascending it, whether good, bad, ugly, indifferent, sublime, or indeed a slobbery mess, always, and I do mean always, end with a little flourish out of the saddle. Just under 19 minutes at 267 watts for me, and my VAM of 1267 of course flattered by the average gradient of 14%. But nonetheless, it was a great confidence builder ahead of the Fred Whitton, especially given the deep surges in power in order to prevail over the steeper ramps.
That wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it'd be, to be honest.
So in your mind you made it worse?
Well, the steepness is as bad, but the tarmac negates. I mean, if that was the Lake District, that'd be harder than Rhinos. Nick Brownbill, I can report that is nowhere near as tough as a single collid in North Wales, Snowdonia. But, Paul, how does it compare to some of the climbs in the Lake District? Where would you put it?
It's up there. Yeah, hard not rhinos.
Hard not rhinos difficulty.
Yeah.
Tarmac?
It's absolutely stunning. Perfect.
It makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. No cattle grids.
No cattle grids and no swimming pool come potholes that we're going to find out, as always is the case on Hard Knot. But yeah, it's a nice old climb, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice time that you put in. I reckon about 15 minutes, yeah?
Maybe 18.
No, not 18, yeah, I reckon you're more like 15. Because the segment didn't start until about a minute after the thing, yeah.
Right, okay.
Lee had taken a little bit longer to begin the segment, but as always had dispatched the climb in style. And after this, of course, we had to climb back up and out of this part of the island in order to log in Strava a grand day out.
Tell us, how did you find the wall? Was it harder or easier than those we discover in the Lake District?
I didn't go full gas.
Didn't go full gas?
It's easily equivalent to anything in the Lake District, guys.
Like a Rhinos?
Easily.
Okay.
Easily.
But the tarmac?
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, it makes a difference, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, smooth.
I'm very sorry for the slow cadence of videos. Work has been really demanding. However, plenty has been filmed and there is much more to come, including the rest of this training camp, the epic and torrential coast to coast, and more events. But for now, ciao.